When there are moments in your life where you are questioning things, where you feel confused, you feel lost, it's normal. And sometimes you don't know what you're going to do or what is going to happen. And sometimes you need a friend in the physical, which is also God, especially if they're connected to God, right? And I want to share with you guys a story because this may resonate, this may spark some divine orchestration intervention for your life. I was going through a little bit of a tough time with a place that I was working at. I'm not going to name names or places, but this was in my past, and there was some drama that was happening, and this drama was not good. And a lot of people were talking, and all of these stories were coming up, all these situations and moments, and some people who were pretty well known in the community. And none of it had to do with me. And yet I was somewhat in the middle of it because I was working for the company and there was some drama happening with it. And I was placed in a position where I had just gotten like a brand new title, brand new position working for this company. And, I was happy and excited. And then I heard about all this drama. And then I was like really questioning myself. And, I was drowning in it for days. And there was a guy who had like one of the longest weekends. I just got done finishing one of my shifts. And this guy had worked 4 days, like 12-hour days, longer than that probably. And I was like, yo, I need some help. You have like 5 minutes? And like thankfully he still had some energy left to assist me, especially like on a Sunday at like 5:30 p.m. after being up since 7 a.m. And I was like telling him everything that was happening with this drama, and like I was feeling really confused on whether or not I should do this. And he goes, well, there's some important questions you may have to ask yourself, like, why are you doing this? And sometimes you have to push everything else aside, push everyone as well, so that you can do you, so that you can fulfill your dharma, your mission, your purpose, your passions. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's true. But then the other part of me was just like, well, how do I continue to support this company with all this drama happening, because it wasn't good, and he goes, do some breath work and maybe you'll get your answer. And I did a little bit of breathing. I didn't do like a full like session or something, but it was like a few minutes. And then I just prayed and I was like, God, like I know what I'm great at, and I know this situation is sticky, it is messy, and it could get worse depending on what happens and who's making decisions, who's in charge, and who wants to get their hands dirty, who's going to do something about it. And I was in the parking lot praying, and I was like, God, if you really want me to do this, like, please give me a sign. And, I was just finishing up my shift, and then there was supposed to be an event happening later, and it got canceled. And, it's just about to close up. And this one person just like walks in saying, hey, is the event still happening tonight? And I said, no, it got canceled. They're not having it. And he's like, oh, that's a bummer. And he walked away. And then there's another person who walked in the door. And I said, hey, is the event happening tonight? And I said, no, I'm sorry, the event got canceled. And then a woman this time entered. And I was like, she, asked the same thing. Is the event happening tonight? And I said, no, I'm sorry, it's not. And, I'm just cleaning up, trying to get everything ready to close. And then all of a sudden, this group of like 4 people walk in. And I was like, oh man, I got to tell these people it's closed too. Or that it's not happening. And of course they asked me, hey, is the event happening tonight? And I said, no, I'm sorry, it got canceled. And And they're like, oh man, that sucks. We drove such a far way to get here. Like, we drove like 45 minutes. And I was like, 45 minutes? That's insane. And, part of me was thinking, I was like, wait, I like prayed for this sign, if I should do this or not. And then it hit me. I was like, wait, I can do this event tonight. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for like almost 2 years at this point. And I was like, hey, the event's going to happen. I'm going to do it. I know how to do this. As long as we can get everything working, like with the sound system, we're good. And they said, okay. And then more people started to trickle in. And just right before the start time, there was about 20 people in there. And I was like, oh my God. And then I ran the event. It was Breathwork and Energy Healing. And oh my God, it went amazing. The energies were alive. They were vibrant. People were so happy. They were so relaxed afterwards. And I was starstruck. I was like, wow, this was my sign. Like, I really just had to step in to be all of me, no matter what was happening on the outside. I knew choosing me, choosing to be of service for the people, it was more than enough. And then the very next day, I get messages, I get voicemails, calls, even an email. And people were like, yo, thank you so much. And thank you for stepping up when nobody was there and just being of service and just doing your thing and helping people. And I was like, yeah, there was a few trial and errors. I had to turn some people away because it didn't even consciously register to me that those were like my signs. The first 3 people I told the event was not going to happen. And even the owner of the establishment even said something to me about it. She's like, hey, thank you so much. Like, people were talking about you at the other place, and they were just really happy and so grateful for what happened. And I just am really in appreciation for you for showing up and being there and following all the way through. And I was like, wow, it was a big compliment from someone in the higher ups. And I just wish that this story can be a divine spark for you to show up, even if things look bleak, even if things don't look good, or you may feel lost and confused. Maybe a little bit of breathing, maybe a little bit of praying and asking for a sign. It is okay. Sometimes we may not fully know internally, and that's okay. That's why we have external stuff to help us. I would not be here without synchronicities. There's no way. It would probably be impossible for me. I had to trust. I had to trust on deeper levels from what I couldn't even perceive or intuit. Yes, that word. And I'm forever grateful. And it literally propelled me for the next 5 months of my life into hosting these events and being of service and helping other people along the way. And I learned a lot. I got to be in a lot. You never know what could happen, but it does just take one moment of curiosity, questioning, and just being all of that. Being the question, being in curiosity, and trusting yourself, and just follow through. Because you never know what the end result could look like. That's why you let go of unattached, or letting go of the attachment. So becoming unattached. I had no idea what the outcome was going to be. I was just like, yo, I'm just going to do this and let's get it, let's go. That was my whole mindset. So, yeah. And that's the whole story. I'm only going to share that one. I still have more that I'd love to share, and as long as I can be an inspiration to at least one person, if not to then millions of people, it's all good. It's all okay. I'm sending each and every single one of you so much love, divine blessings, and please be all of you. Don't give up. You deserve the world, and the world deserves you. All of you. Namaste.